Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And today I'm going to talk about the Dominican Republic CONFOTUR law. There's a little bit of mistakes here and there about it, but it's very simple. But I don't want to talk about just the simple part. I want to talk about when a project has the CONFOTUR law, what that actually means, because they have to jump through certain hoops and they receive the benefit of exemptions of taxes and many, many other things. But let's get into the benefits for the individual investor who's buying into a project with CONFOTUR. Because once you understand, when somebody says we have the CONFOTUR, that gives you tax benefits beyond 1 year, beyond 5 years, beyond 10 years. But there's tax benefits up to 15 years. So we're going to talk about that and a little bit more. So stay tuned and welcome. Stop struggling now, gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I want to thank you so much for being here, and please share the videos because you never know who you're going to be able to help. And when we're talking about no credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry, well, you've come to the right place because we're talking about overseas real estate investing, Dominican Republic investing, whether it's a business, whether it's hotels, whether it's shops. There's something for you, whether you're buying as an investor into single family condos, villas, or multifamilies. Either way, you can be on both sides of the fence. We're going to talk about that, so stay tuned. But first up, we got to go to the Stop Struggling Now YouTube podcast page because we got to make sure everybody knows where to find us. But please share the videos. And if you are not a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel once again. And if you are not a member, you can see a few members shown here. Members of the channel, there's a join button to become a member of the channel. Under the community tab, they receive special messages. They also receive 1 or 2 videos per month specifically for them. They also can join me on any live stream, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or any other live stream we have. They can come on and be on screen with me, or they can use an emoji. But either way, and they are the only ones that can be in the chat room on our Wednesday night live streams at 8:50 p.m. So those are some of the perks for being a member of the channel. Now let's get into some of the benefits of CONFOTUR. I'm just going to go real quick over it. Additional requirements to receive CONFOTUR benefits under Law 158-01. Here we go. This is what the project has to do. This is the tenets. This isn't actually all of it. It's just a tenets and overview. The project must include a tourism operation that attract new investors. So everybody on podcasts, you understand that, right? The project should be well financed and fundamentally secure. All right. The project should be financially viable with a profit margin between 20% and 25%, and the project quality should abide to international standards. Now, here is some of the tenets for normal taxation without CONFOTUR. Now, that was for the project itself. But now, once the project qualifies for CONFOTUR, which there's many hoops to jump through, then if you do not have CONFOTUR, here's what happens. Transfer tax, you're going to have to pay 3%. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Transfer tax. If the project does not have CONFOTUR and you buy something for $200,000, tax is going to be $6,000 that you're going to have to pay on closing as a transfer tax. All right, that's one of the things. If it has CONFOTUR, then you do not pay any transfer tax. So when somebody starts thinking of how much you're spending and how much you're buying something for, if you say 200,000 and they don't have CONFOTUR, that's 206,000 that you're really buying it for just off of that. But there's more. So now let's talk about the property tax, which with or without CONFOTUR, this will apply. If you buy a property $150,000 or less, then you pay zero in taxes. So here, property tax, that is. This tax is an annual payment of 1% of the property value over and above, I'll use Dominican pesos, 7,438,197, which is about 148,000 USD. This fluctuates or goes up depending on inflation, so that's why I use 150,000 USD. For example, oh, here we go. A property valued at 200,000 would pay an annual tax of 520. Why 520? Because 200,000 minus 148 is 52,000. You pay 1%, that's $520 tax for the year. But if it costs $150,000 or less, you're not going to pay taxes even if you have CONFOTUR or don't have CONFOTUR. So that doesn't really matter. The number one thing is about the transfer tax. And number two, this tax is an annual payment. This is income tax. This tax is an annual payment of 20% of the rental income earned for renting out the real estate investment. So there's a lot of people thinking about doing that Airbnb or short-term vacation rentals or even month to month. And you have to pay 20% on your rental income earned. That could be taken out. But if you have CONFOTUR, look at here, ladies and gentlemen. Look down here. Taxes with CONFOTUR, 0% transfer tax, exempt from the 3% transfer tax. Some of you might be buying something for $500,000. That would mean you're going to have to pay an extra $15,000 because of it not having CONFOTUR. That's fine. It's your money. But the point is that could be exempt if it had CONFOTUR. Now, 0% transfer tax, exempt from paying 1% property tax over the tax base amount. So there we go again with something else. But again, with or without CONFOTUR, we don't have to pay anything extra. Now, 0% income tax, exempt from paying 20% income tax on rental income received. And I believe that's up to 15 years as well. So, CONFOTUR, 20% on rental income. Can you imagine making $100,000? And then they're saying either you pay $20,000 because in taxes because you didn't have CONFOTUR or your project doesn't, or you get to keep the $100,000. $20,000 is nothing to sneeze at. There's going to be people here that might earn over $100,000 a year in their rentals. So $20,000 for every 100,000 earned, that's significant, ladies and gentlemen, simply because you chose a project that has CONFOTUR. Now, here's the last thing. The above exemptions run for a period of 15 years, ladies and gentlemen, and there's going to be a question. I'll just answer it right now. Some people are saying, so that exemption for the transfer tax, only going to be for the original owner. The exemption for the property tax is the same. So if you bought something for under 150,000, you turn around and sell it for 300,000, the person that's buying it does not get to have any of these benefits. They're going to have to pay the tax, they're going to have to pay the transfer fee, and they will not have the 15-year benefit. All right? So look at that and you tell me, ladies and gentlemen, 20% income on rental, 1% property taxes that you never have to pay even though your property value could go up to $200,000. But you bought it at only 130, 140, 150. You start taking 15 years of not having to pay potentially $20,000 to $30,000 a year. That starts adding up. That means wealth and money in your pocket. So I just wanted to start it off with that. And then we'll go on the other side of the fence that if you wanted to get a hotel, you wanted to bring some business over to Dominican Republic, you would want to get these things such as, this is for business and developers, 100% exemption from payment of income tax. You would want that. 100% exemption from payment of national and municipal taxes charged on the incorporation and capital increase of companies. I'll have a link down below so you guys can go check this out for yourself. But you would want all of that. 100% exemption from payment of all import taxes and other taxes such as tariffs, rights, recharges, including the value added tax, VAT, applicable to equipment, materials, and movables necessary for the first equipment and putting into operation of the corresponding tourism facility. So if you're a business that's a developer, you would want CONFOTUR before you bring some stuff over there, right? Equipment and everything, because you're going to have to pay the taxes and the VAT and all these extra. You're talking about hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars worth of equipment. Would you really want to pay a couple $100,000 or up to $1 million because you didn't get your CONFOTUR first and then bring stuff over so you have all these exemptions? 100% exemption from payment of taxes and withholdings that may arise from any local and international financing? Man, and from the accruing interest granted to the companies. So now you understand why some of these projects and developers and hotels and motels, and this even applies for if a hotel existed and they want to do upgrades, renovations, that applies for them too. So this brings in more people. This brings in what's happening right now, a euphoria. They're building all these tourist zones, all right? Opportunity zones are what they're called in America, but they have these tourism opportunity zones, and all of those can be part of the CONFOTUR as a developer, a builder, or some tourism industry where you're helping out. So again, aquariums, restaurants, golf courses, sports complexes, facility belonging to tourism activities may benefit. So conventions, festivals, shows, concerts. So you want to build an amphitheater? Ladies and gentlemen, get on it, right? If you're a project, build the amphitheaters. You're getting tax cuts, tax breaks for it. Capital gains, you're not going to have to pay. Come on. Now you understand why some of these mega projects can do this, because they're benefiting by not having to pay extra taxes, tariffs, VATs, and whatever else they got to pay, right? And they can bring equipment in before they build with and not have to pay for that as well as far as the taxes go. That is major and significant when you start talking about 200, 300, 400 million dollar projects. You're damn right they want to save millions. And this is how they do it, ladies and gentlemen. It does take a little while for these companies to get the CONFOTUR, but just to reiterate, hotels, convention centers, cruise promotions, parks, tourism infrastructure, companies that depend on tourism, small and medium-sized companies whose market is mainly based on tourism, handicraft, plants, tropical fish, breeding farms. See, this is why you have to talk to a person like Johan Confidante, the preeminent attorney, lawyer in all of Dominican Republic. He has the staff and the team that's going to help you out. So therefore, if you're going to start a business, you start it right and get all of these benefits by simply doing the CONFOTUR. All right. So I just wanted to show you all that, and I'm going to leave you with this. Because in case you don't know what's going on in the Dominican Republic, now you understand hopefully a little better on why there is so much building going on. Here is something I want to show you. This is from 2019. There are 8 international airports in the Dominican Republic. All right. Now, notice this, which are in order of passenger traffic. If you are an investor, notice what they said here. This gives you a clue. In order of passenger traffic, Punta Cana is number 1. Santo Domingo is number 2 in 2019, but it still holds the same now. Santiago, Puerto Plata, La Romana generally have the same amount of share of tourist traffic. 4%, 3%. Santo Domingo, 8%. All right. So just giving you an idea. The total air traffic in 2019 reached 14 million. All right. Now, this is a watershed moment in 2019. Due to COVID, they have not reached the 14 million again. But I have news for you, ladies and gentlemen. If you are an investor, you're thinking of doing something. If somebody told you that 67 to 70% of all tourists that come in by air land at one of these locations, What does that tell you? Make comments down below. What do you think you're going to do? Are you going to say, oh, I'll just stay where the other 30% are going to be? Spread out the other 8%, the other 4%, the other 3%. I think that's a great idea. Yes, it may be a great idea in the other areas because they're trying to build for tourism as well. But if one area is getting 70% of all the air passenger traffic coming to the Dominican Republic, don't you think that you should be putting your business, your investments in that region? That's right. And that's why here we've been talking about Punta Cana for the last 3-4 years. All right. So keep that in mind. And when you add La Romana, because they were within an hour of each other, the La Romana Airport and Punta Cana Airport, La Romana Airport gets 4% of all visitors to the DR. So between this hour between Punta Cana and La Romana, they get 71% of all traffic. Do you understand that 71%, when you do 7 times 14, you get close to 10 million coming in to this Punta Cana, La Romana area on an annual basis? They haven't even reached 14 million. They won't even reach it this year. But come back in 2 years, ladies and gentlemen, because that's when they should be rocking and rolling. And what happens if there's 15 million, 20 million people coming to the island and you have something like 70% going to Punta Cana? 14 million people, you won't have enough places where they can stay. But you damn sure better get in now while it's cheap, because don't get left behind. No credit checks, no qualifyings, no barriers to entry, ladies and gentlemen. Real estate investing, that's what we like here, and come along for the ride. We have much more people coming on live streams, more realtors, more projects are coming up. So if you have a favorite project, put it down below in the comment section. In all of the Dominican Republic, it's not just for Punta Cana. It can be in Samana, it can be in Puerto Plata, it can be in Cabarete, it can be in Santo Domingo, Santiago. It does not matter. If you feel that there's a project worth talking about, put it down in the comments below and we'll check it out. And with all that said, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here. And that's why we have to sound the alarm. Set it up for everyone. If I had a no credit check, no qualifying way to buy real estate in one of the hottest markets in all of the Northern Hemisphere, I would seriously consider it. Hopefully you do too. And with all that said, keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.